Hello, everybody. It is 2:22:22. No, it is not 2 p.m. It is 7 p.m. Pacific time. The new time slot, the new prime time slot for PromoHomo.TV. So all new broadcasts are most likely going to be originating at 7 p.m. with a few exceptions. So wherever you are, it's 7 p.m. Pacific time. And my guest today, I'm just so excited to have him on the show. You know, in doing my research about Fernando Velez, who's the creator and visionary behind Class 6, I learned that, in my opinion, basically, in a sense, he's saved himself by honoring his creativity. And his stories are about superheroes that are saving humanity, about LGBTQ superheroes who each play an essential role not only in securing equality for all, but in the universal survival of the human race, which is a broader theme in the Kraven Comics Universe. About Class 6, it's about Queen Izar, a being created by our human ancestors to safeguard humanity. But there is one problem. She was left with an ancient enemy, the reptilian race, who has tried to eliminate the human race for thousands of years. Now, one last war is about to end this bloody circle. But will it happen in our time, more specifically on our planet Earth? It will, actually, that's what it says. It will happen in our time, more specifically on our planet Earth. Queen Izar's path crosses with these 5 individuals who are LGBTQ, and each plays an essential role with the faith of humanity. So that's what's coming up on the show today, all about Class 6 and a very interesting and fascinating story from Fernando. And you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for that because he's in the green room waiting, and I can hardly wait to welcome him. And I have my buddy Paul Jasek, who is watching, and he says hello. He's in Long Beach. And Rock is watching. He's been waiting for this particular episode, and he's watching from Fargo, North Dakota. So thank you for that. And Paul is loving all of this. Thank you, Paul. Before we get to the main event, I just want to let you know that for their support of my show, I want to thank DAP Health. One of their value statements is we welcome all people, period. A big shout out to 849 Restaurant and Lounge for their support of the show. And PromoHomo.TV is a proud media sponsor of the LGBTQ Community Center of the Desert. Their big red dress red party is coming up. Tickets have gone on sale. They're probably sold out. You can go to that website and check. But I'm going to be giving away a pair of tickets to that event during one of my live broadcasts between now and the event. But you have to be watching that particular broadcast live in order to win. I'm a proud media sponsor of Palm Springs Pride, and you can find 4 different Pride parades at PromoHomo.TV. And check out the Pride organization. Their big event is in November at pspride.org. For their support in amplifying my show across the Twitterverse, I want to thank the hashtag #ILoveGay campaign and my local media partners, KK1065 Palm Springs, the hashtag #ILoveGay Palm Springs podcast, and GayDesertGuide.lgbt. If you're having merch envy, and I would be if I was wearing this shirt and I saw it, if you were wearing the shirt and I saw it, I would want it. Well, you can get it at the merch link at PromoHomo.TV or on Amazon. Just search official PromoHomo.TV. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on Facebook throughout a live broadcast, you'll see a bell. If you click that bell, you'll be reminded of future broadcasts. And follow me on social because you don't want to miss an episode of the show. And the way that you find out that I'm going live is by making sure that you've engaged with me in one of those capacities. So I am now offering voluntary paid subscriptions to PromoHomo.TV starting for as little as $10 a month. People that do that are referred to as the PromoHomo.TV superstars. And if you do that on or before April 24th, 2022, you'll be invited to my big 60th birthday. Yes, this is what 59 looks like, going on 60. You'll be invited to my 60th birthday party at 849 Restaurant and Lounge on a Sunday afternoon. If you subscribe in time, the party's April 24th. My birthday is actually April 25th, which is a Monday. And if you miss that event and you sign up as a subscriber by April 30th, you're going to be put into a legacy reel. This legacy reel will be preserved in a variety of places in the PromoHomo.TV universe. And here's an example of the people who have stepped up, including Paul Jasek, who's watching, and Rock May. He's watching, and they're both PromoHomo.TV superstars. Go figure. And Paul Jasek, who's watching live, says, superstars, because we all love Promo Homo. I'm so glad somebody does. As Sally Field would say, you like me. You really, really like me. Fernando in the green room is too young to probably know what I'm talking about. If you are watching live on 2/22/22, it's you know what? I got to fix that. It's 2/22/22. Let me fix that right now. I have fixed it. Yes. So, if you are watching live on 2/22/22 and you put the hashtag superhero into the comments, you can win this bumper sticker. That's if you're watching live. So, I think that you've probably had enough of me, especially because I have a very handsome, talented guest in the green room and you want to hear more of him. So let's bring him on right now. Welcome to the show, Fernando Velez. Hi, Fernando.
Hi, Nicolas. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I'm so excited.
Well, you know, you and I have been in communication for quite some time about having you on the show. We took a stab at it Saturday, but we each had technical difficulties, which is fine because here we are on 2/22/22.
Great time.
Yes, exactly. So I know you're all smiling now and you're involved in a creative project that's becoming more successful, but it's kind of rooted in a dark and challenging times back in Puerto Rico. And one of the things that you provide in your biographical information is the impact of the AIDS epidemic on your family and in your world, and how that helped shaped who you came to be. And I was wondering if you would take us back to that period of time in your life.
Yeah, I feel like when I was trying to find myself, trying to understand what it was to feel and be gay, my parents, my mom especially, recently lost her best friend to AIDS. And after my older brother died of cancer, she was afraid of losing another son. So for her, often we think that parents are just like very mean and they don't support you and they don't love you, but we have to understand where they come from the different generation and what their experiences have been. So yeah, it was very difficult. My mom took me to like religious camp for a week where they're trying to change me. I tried to commit suicide 3 times and end up in a psychiatry hospital. But I feel like every experience have been like I always made the best of everything, even the worst experience. I trying to make the best out of it and learn and grow as a person. And all of this inspire a lot in my inspiration and the way I write today and sympathize with different issues that affect us all.
How old were you when this process began? Well, first of all, when you first attempted suicide, was it before you shared your sexual questions with anyone else?
Yes, the first time, yes, I did, and then I came out of the closet. They didn't accept me, so I kind of went back to the closet, and then I had a relationship. I was a little kid, I didn't know anything about love, but I was just feeling like alone, and I didn't know who to talk to, and I just felt like the whole world collapsed. And I try again, and at the third time, I decided that I couldn't keep hiding. I couldn't just. I'd rather have people hate me for who I am than love me for something I'm not.
So, when you were in the psychiatric hospital, was it as the result of one of the suicide attempts?
Yes, that's correct.
And do you happen to remember the year that was? What year it was?
I was close to 17.
So,
I'm
I don't.
35 now, soon.
Okay, so like 18 years ago would have been 2003 or 2004.
Yes, that's correct. Because I moved away 2 years later, and I moved 2006.
Okay, so in the early 2000s, your third attempt at suicide led you to be put into a psychiatric hospital
Yeah,
for your own protection, I'm sure.
yeah.
All right. Now, I'm wondering, did the mental health treatment that you got in that place, was it affirming of your sexual orientation? Did they teach you to love and accept yourself, or did they have the view that there was something wrong with you?
No, the psychiatrists would say that it was something wrong with me, and they were trying to like medicate me. But I was lucky that I had an angel because the nurse that worked in the evening, she kind of understood what I was going through, and she knew that I didn't have to be there. So like I don't know if I'm not supposed to say this, but she didn't give me the medication, and every night when everybody goes to sleep, she knew that it was important for me to talk to someone who can understand me. So she will allow me to speak to my best friend who was gay for like an hour, when I was only allowed to speak 5 minutes with my parents every 3 days. So it was a mix of like different emotions where, where am I? Like there were people having real issues and screaming, and you have no doors, you have no privacy, you cannot even have a pen. I mean, the way they treat you, you are basically in a little jail because they have like wires in the hallways so you cannot go away or anything. But at the same time, I saw that I don't need everybody to believe in me, but just that one person to give me hope.
And this was in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
So in the early 2000s in Puerto Rico, you were in a mental health treatment facility that believed homosexuality was wrong.
Yes, that's correct.
Was it a religious based institution?
Sorry, what?
Was the hospital the institution affiliated with a religious organization
Uh,
or
n-
institution?
no, but
Well,
my parents,
that
I'm sorry, my parents were like very like pushing to, that there's something wrong. And back then, they all believe that because Puerto Rico was a very conservative country.
Well, Paul says that he's so grateful for your strength, Fernando. The world needs you, and he loves your reference of the evening nurse. I frankly think, Paul, that you'll agree with me that the evening nurse is going to make a great character in the movie of your life. And Rock says, I never understood why so many think or doctors run to meds before understanding what's actually been going on. I have been in this situation before, unfortunately, Rock shares. So, how did you end up leaving Puerto Rico and did you come directly to the US? How did that
Mm,
happen?
Yeah, so I I was homeless for like about a month, and I didn't tell my parents that I didn't have a place to stay. And I was like looking for signatures to for a political party to be able to be registered. So they give me like $1 per signature. And after a couple months that I was able to enlist in the university for the first 6 months, I saw an ad about the Disney College program in Orlando. So I thought that was the best way to get out of Puerto Rico. I falsificated my mom's signature because I needed my parents' approval. And I just bought a ticket and I got the whole family together and I said, you know what, I'm leaving. I'm gonna find my own path. I'm gonna find who I am. And if I cannot do it here with you guys, I'm gonna find another family. And I signed in for the Disney College program and I saw that across from the housing there was a shopping center. So I knew I can get a job there and eventually save up, buy a car. And that's how I did it. It wasn't that easy, like I thought it was gonna be, but I think every obstacle just made me stronger.
Are you saying Disney college program?
Yes.
So I'm guessing that was highly competitive.
Yeah, so they bring you to work in different entertainment part of entertainment industry from Disney or hotels. It's different stuff, but they teach you English and they give you classes. So they kind of prepare you to stay in the US. So it was a great opportunity. I mean, a lot of people were applying, and I was just lucky that I was able to get in.
Um, Paul says this strength is superhuman. He's a
Thank you.
fan. Um, I want to back up a little bit because I'm fascinated. So you raised money to escape Puerto Rico by collecting signatures for a political party. Was it a political party you believed in?
No, but they needed the signature. I needed the money.
No, I understand. So it's like, okay, that's like a two-edged sword. It's like, all right, I'm helping this party succeed, but it's so I can escape. It's very once again, I think that the story of your life will be as fascinating as your comic book. So tell me how your life evolved into the world of comic books. Were you influenced by comic books? Were you given hope and inspiration by them? Was that part of your journey?
So when I was little kid, not little kid, in my 15, 17, 16. I love entertainment. I love to write since I was little. So for me, I love comics, but there was always something missing because it didn't represent me. I needed a hero that can give me hope and say, hey, you matter to the world. You're important. You're someone's heroes. And I couldn't find that. And, being a little teenager, trying to find yourself and accept who you are, you kind of need that motivation that from a comic book. So in my head, I would start imagining like characters where mostly was played by myself. I was a little kid. And I imagine a world that needed me, a world where I was important, like how me as a gay guy can save the world so the world can see that I'm just like anybody else.
Okay. And how long were you in Florida?
Ooh, I move around so much. I was there for a year until I got to Telemundo. I became Telemundo's youngest producers because I was 20 years old when I became a producer for Telemundo. So I lasted a year. Then I went to New York, back to Orlando, then Miami. I move around a lot.
So, wow, I mean, you escaped Puerto Rico, you worked for Disney, you ended up as a producer at Telemundo. Did you learn the television business at the Disney school?
No, so I quit Disney because my roommates were doing drugs and they keep moving me to people where they're doing drugs and it just was very unstable. So I decided to quit Disney. I already have a good job outside Disney. And then I saw on Craigslist that there was a casting for a reality TV show for Telemundo in Miami. So I apply and the producer say, yeah, sure, let's do it. And I'm like, I didn't have an idea. I just needed to set my foot into a studio and then I would move around and make my way up. So I said yes, and I went as an extra. And then the second time I went, I was helping the producer getting some extras for the shows, and he wasn't authorized to run these shows. So he got fired, and since I was there, I just run the show. So the executive producer made me a producer assistant until 4 months later, she made me a producer.
So you were going to be in the show, but instead you ended up working on the show.
No, I did the show, and then the
Oh, you
second time, the
and what
producer.
was the show about?
It's like Just Judy, but the Latin version is called Caso Cerrado.
Okay, and were you one? Were you in the jury? Were you like the guard? What character were you?
I was a gay guy suing my stepmother. I couldn't cry. My cry was so fake that a little kid would say like, "Wow, it was really bad." I'm like, "Okay, thank you."
Okay, so you learned you weren't going to be an actor. All
Oh
right,
yeah.
so fast forward to the point in your life where you you started this vision of creating your own comic book, and tell us how Kraven Comics came and you came into being.
So that's since always when I was little I wrote my first script. It was called the Hellish Book, and my main character it was called Craven. So I always call everything Craven throughout all these years. So I never forget where I come from, and I will always write all my ideas with the hope that one day they will come true. I will make them. And I was working as a survey in Miami, and I started a LGBTQ magazine. And one of my writers did an article about the lack of representation in the comic book industry. And I say, this is my chance to do what I always loved to do and bring a representation to my community. And I know it was going to be super hard and challenging. And I said, I needed that when I was a little kid. So I want to do that for little Fernando and all the people out there that feel invisible in this industry.
So how did you meet your collaborators, and how did the first issue come into being?
Well, the first issue took us like maybe 2, 3 years. We started with one. So me and my partner, we used to help when I was running the magazine. We used to help people in Venezuela because he's from Venezuela.
And
We
is
were
this the same partner that you're with now?
Yes, we've been together for 8 years.
So this is him right here.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Ah,
us.
what is his name?
Wygen
And you met 8 years ago. How did you meet?
and Grinder.
Ah, okay, everyone out there. There's hope. There's
Yeah,
hope. What city?
in San Francisco.
Okay, then. So there's hope out there. I just, I deleted Grinder recently, but I have this horrible habit of adding it back. So, so 8 years later, you collaborated. But now, so was Class Six the first in the Craven line?
Yes, that was my baby. I was working out the gym in Castro, and I just saw these LGBTQ people. They were like everybody, like such a diverse community, and I just saw heroes that needed to be represented. Like for example, I would go out and see Sister Roma. I adore Sister Roma, and she's a true hero of our community. She needed to be represented, and that's why she inspired me to create Kunisar, the main character. And yeah, so back then we were helping people in Venezuela, and me and my partner decided we cannot be giving free money. We have to create something more sustainable. And how about we give the opportunity to artists in Venezuela to do what they love and be able to live comfortable? And that's how we started looking for artists in Venezuela.
Okay. So, Queen Izar's path crosses with these five other individuals who are LGBTQ, and each plays an essential role with the fate of humanity. They must come together with their abilities to join forces with Queen Izara. In the beginning, they are fighting for gay rights. Still, as they discover this more significant conflict, they must decide if they want to save the same human race that has rejected them, killed them, and attacked them for being LGBTQ. I think that is such a powerful statement because even though this is fiction, there's so much truth that's rooted in the results of oppression and people that rise above it. And do you want to make the world a better place for the people that have had contempt for you? There's just so much reality in your comics.
Yeah, I use a lot of inspiration in real events that have happened to our community in a way that we can create awareness because our comic book is not only written by LGBTQ, but we have a lot of stray individuals, fans of our comic book. And often they say like, wow, I didn't know that was happening to, LGBTQ people in Africa. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Or it's kind of like we open up their minds and their eyes to our issues and they're more aware. And they say that from now on, they're willing to defend us more. So it's a way of fighting for our rights.
So tell me about the five. Well, does Sister Roma know she's the inspiration for
Yeah,
Queen Izara?
yes.
And what does Sister Roma say about that?
She loved it. We have done an event together, and she's gonna be on episode 11. She's going to be on episode 11 with other drag queens from San Francisco.
Oh, they must really love you. So tell me about, first of all, Paul says, I love all of this. I was a Superman fan and always wanted to be married to him. Yeah, move over, Paul. Here you have created a world I already love. That's fantastic. So tell me about the five other main characters in Class 6.
So I have one of my favorite character as well beside Queen Sar is Nevia, the transgender character. She was thrown on the street by her biological parents for being transgender. So it's a very powerful story that a lot of us relate to. She trying to commit suicide as well, and she got the power to self realignment, where she can allow this ability allow her to turn into someone that she copied herself from. We have Jaseri, which I love. She's descendant from the ancient human being, and she controls nature. One of my other favorite is Nami. He's cute. He's so cute. He's our Asian twin hero. He has the ability to control technological devices with his nano abilities. And then we have Kian, which is an ancient catalyst with it's like a DNA that holds information from our human ancestors from another universe. Powerful weapons and technology never seen before. And Aaron, our Latino hero, who is from Venezuela, and that character is going to be very controversial. He struggled with meth addiction, so I want to create awareness about what many in our community are experiencing and their silence about it because of shame. I want this character to speak up for them.
Okay, now I'm getting goosebumps because I don't have drugs in my story, but this week I will turn 21 years sober.
Wow,
And
congratulations.
and I do know and love people who have struggled with meth. And there's so much that you seem to be doing that you not seem. There's so much that you are doing about representation. What is the I you're on this series on PromoHomo.TV called Notes from Hollywood, which profiles people passionately pursuing professions in the entertainment industry. And I can just so see your characters in a major blockbuster film. And I know that that's part of your vision because on Instagram today, you were putting out a teaser. Who should play which character? I think Sister Roma might want to play Queen Azar. But so I just have to congratulate you. What is the brightest media spotlight? What is the biggest media attention you've gotten for your work?
So right now, we are actually, I don't know if that counts, but Microsoft is hiring me to speak to their global LGBTQ employees about Class 6 and the representation in the comic book industry. So for me, that's an amazing opportunity to reach out not only in the United States, but globally, the employees from Microsoft. For me, that's gonna be in about 2 weeks.
Wow. Okay, but my question is, right now you're on PromoHomo TV, which is an online television network, but I know you've done many similar interviews. What is the highest level of media attention in some sort of public media, a newspaper, a magazine, an online show, a television broadcast that you've received so far?
So for example, we were featured in the cover for Peach Magazine in Atlanta. After they interviewed us, they went back to us and they would love to use our images for their cover. So that was something very big for us.
Your characters or you?
Yeah, no, the characters.
The
They were the cover.
characters.
Yeah, they were the cover for
Okay.
Peach Magazine and Peach in Atlanta.
Well, I predict, frankly, major national media exposure for you guys soon. And if Out Magazine, The Advocate, and even mainstream publications and outlets don't start reporting about you soon, I will be surprised. Now, I need to find something first. I'm looking because I have things queued up. I want to find something in particular to show to the audience. Which one is it? That's not it. I'll look for it. Tell me, how many issues of Class 6 exist?
Right now we
And
have, I'm sorry,
go ahead.
we have 9 episodes. We're really episode 10 is almost done. We have one of our other series, which is Laws of Kraven, which is that title is about Jasseri's ancestors.
Okay. And people can get your comic books at cravencomics.com and also at on Amazon. I saw.
Yeah, and also they can read it for free digitally on Amazon Kindle Unlimited.
Okay, Amazon Kindle Unlimited. I found the image I was looking for, so I can put it on the screen now. For people watching, I have to tell you, get ready to be floored because this is the most interesting depiction of the Stonewall Inn you have ever seen, I'm sure, and here it is. Isn't that stunning? Oh my goodness. So from left to right, as you look at the photo, just identify who we're seeing in this photo.
So the first one on the left, we had Jasseri, our lesbian hero. The one next to her is Kian, our bear hero. In the middle, we're holding the glass shot, is Kunisar, our drag queen hero. Then we have a straight ally because like the nurse was my angel. We always have a straight person that stick to us and help us to get through different hard things. So that's I call her the sidekicker, Jennifer, a straight ally. Then we have Nevia, our transgender character, and Aaron, the leather hero, and the twin hero Nami. And most of them have the colors of their community. For example, the bear hero has the color of the bear community. The transgender outfit is transgender flag, and the leather is so. Yeah, that was inspired by the community.
Wow, that's just really amazing. Paul says he wants that poster. I don't think it exists yet as a poster.
Oh
What?
yeah,
Oh, it does exist.
yeah,
People
it's
can get that
available on the
poster.
website. Yeah.
Okay, Paul, you can get the poster. Good news. So how many people does anyone, including yourself, work full time for Craven Comics, or are you like a lot of creative people doing other stuff while you build your passion?
No, we work full time. We have about 10 artists. So we're together about 14 or
So
15 people working.
you have 14 people who are working full time for Craven Comics,
Yes, that's correct.
and how many of those are in the U.S.?
One, two, three, about five.
So you have five full time employees in the U.S., and then you're working with artisans in other countries.
Yes, Venezuela.
So do you ever get any criticisms from the way that you've classified your heroes? For example, do you ever have an Asian person tell you they don't like the fact that the Asian superhero is a twink who's good with technology?
Yeah, so we have a lot of, not a lot, I would say that we, at the beginning only, I would say in the first few months that we launched the comic book, there were some people that mostly rather than pick a character in specific, they just didn't like that we were stereotype or, but then the other people started to comment that it's not about that, it's about celebrating the diverse community that we are rather than hiding who we are. It's just about embracing the different parts. And one of the big criticism that we have is like saying that the leather community is not part of the LGBTQ, the bear community is not part of the LGBTQ, and it's just like it comes from a place that we have to accept other difference within our community. Otherwise, why we want to be accepted in society if we cannot accept the difference and the diversity of our community?
That makes complete sense. So I want to bring something else back up because I like show and tell. And all right, we're going to share the screen and we're going to go to this photo. So where, I love this photo of you. Where was it taken?
That was by SFO, you know, where all the pharmaceuticals companies are. I don't know if you're familiar with SFO area.
Okay. Yes, yes. But the reason I brought this up is I wanted to bring this up again. I mean, how wonderful it is! How wonderful is it that you found a soulmate 8 years ago? You're still together now, and you're building this company together. Now, you were both at Palm Springs Pride, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, I said hello to you briefly at the table that day. You were, I'm sure, extremely busy. How do people react to you you when you're out in public at an event and they're discovering your books for the first time?
Well, Palm Spring event was the event that changed our life completely. Normally, we got contact with two producers, and right now we're working on getting everything ready to pitch everything in the next month to the studios. So hopefully by summer we'll have good news. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this.
And
but yeah,
that's because of connections you made at Palm Springs Pride.
yes, people were like, I love because it was so diverse. You have family, you have gay people, and we got an opinion from different, you know, from straight, gay. For example, like there was a couple that bought their book for their kids because they are LGBTQ, but they weren't able to be in Palm Springs. After a couple hours, they came back with tears on their eyes saying, "Thank you for representing my kids." And for me, that means so much because it doesn't come from LGBT, but from a parent of a gay kid that see the impact that the comic book has. And other transgender individuals that bought the book, you know, they came back again saying like, "Thank you for representing me. This is like nothing that is out there. It represents me like the way you do." And that kind of validates our mission to to make all these communities visible, to send a message that we can all be heroes. So Palm Spring was for me like the best event, and we were so busy, incredible busy. Like it was amazing.
That's really just a stunning story. I got goosebumps when you talked about how Palm Springs Pride changed your life. I'll tell the president of Palm Springs Pride you said that. I just want to remind you if you are watching live on 2/22/22 at 7:39 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to do a drawing in just a few minutes, and the way that you get entered is you enter hashtag superhero in the comments on the social media platform on which you are watching. Is there anything that you would? I have a couple of things I want to ask you about that I haven't gotten to, but I was wondering if is there anything that you know you want to talk about that we haven't talked about yet?
Um, I just want to, you know, not only, besides thank you for allowing me to use your platform to send this message and create awareness about our heroes. I would love people to help us spread the world. It's very hard for an indie creator to to be known and to be visible in such a conservative industry that I would love to ask everybody's help to spread the word. You know, this is more than a comic book. This is a way of becoming an activist, you know, of fighting for gay rights. And even for people who are not into comic book, they love and they're now into our comics. It's just something unbelievable. It's
I
something very
love it.
different and special. We pour our heart into it. Our team from, you know, our penciler, she's gonna be 60 this year. I think, and she's like the first time she did a comic book. I mean, we're giving chances to people that they didn't have the experience of the ways to do this, and you know, and our drag queen, we have a drag queen who is like amazing in the team. So you allow us to continue to give these chances and opportunity to these amazing people that made this project alive.
I want to return to where we sort of started our conversation and about your childhood. You wrote, I just want to review some of the things that have been written. At that time, HIV/AIDS was considered by many as a gay disease, and my close minded mother was fearful of losing another son. For me, being young, being gay, trying to be myself was difficult. My 3 attempts at suicide ended with me being hospitalized in a psychiatric ward as well as weeks in a religious conversion camp. It was hard to be gay. It was hard to be myself. It was hard to find support. That this world that I was caught in was crushing me, you say. I was just a young kid who lost his big brother, whose dad was an alcoholic, whose mom was trying to provide stability to our family with both love and food on the table. And what I think is what's so compelling, Fernando, is that then you write that you didn't know what to do but get out of the house, walk, listen to music, and imagine a different alternative reality with characters who could create new possibilities, new destinies, and new paths forward. And look what you're
Yeah,
doing now.
yeah. I guess like before, like my imagination is immense. It's something that is a gift that I have, and it helped me to get through my most difficult times because I have this power of like putting some music, walk, and I just visualize. I completely change everything I see, everything I feel. It's something that is just so hard to explain, but that imagination got me through the hardest time in life, and I don't know what I would do if I didn't have it because it was hard. Like I would go home to hide in my room to hide who I am. My mom won't be home working hard. My dad will be drinking or fighting. I'm still grieving my brother who I lost, who was like my best friend, the one that made me feel safe. And honestly, in a very religious family that I grew up with, where my aunties would make homophobic comments, it was just very hard. I just felt like many times I just wanted to end. That's why for me, I poured that into Nevia's character when she said, like, I'm being already dead, like, I want to just one last pain and finish it all. Those were emotions that I had before, that I felt
Mm-hmm.
that many people feel that way. And I have I have fans that, that they relate to and they've been feeling like committing suicide, and the comic book has stopped them from committing suicide. It's just that connection that I can create with a reader based on what I experienced myself is amazing.
That's so powerful. I want to bring back up this image of Stonewall again. While I just review something else as well. So Class 6 is more than a series of comic books. It represents gay life in comics and shows the hardship in life that many in our community go through. It's a narrative of freedom for that kid who was me, Fernando, and for the many like me who never knew if heroes who could lead to saving us, heroes that could make our voice be heard, to create a better world, to have equality for all. Really profound. You are one
Thank
amazing
you.
human being, as is your partner, as are your whole team. Really
Thank you.
spectacular.
Thank you a lot.
Do you have a final remark?
I would like to say to everyone who are feeling down or feeling like they don't fit in, I always say that if you're trying to commit suicide or anything, just remember that you're someone's hero. If you commit suicide, you're gonna take that away from someone, and you're gonna impact someone's life. So, I feel like we all heroes in this world. So never forget that we need you.
You are a hero, and we do need you, whoever you're out, who's ever out there. And Paul says you are a hero, Fernando.
Thank you.
And Paul's a very busy person, so I'm honored that he's watched the entire broadcast.
Thank you,
And
Paul, for being
now,
here.
now we're going to do the drawing. A lot of people watch my broadcast after the fact, so I don't necessarily get a lot of entries, but I'm going to do a drawing right now I'm going to bring it up on the screen. We have two entries tonight, but because we have more than one, I can actually bring this on the screen and I can do the drawing. So let's see who's going to win. And Rock wins. You know, Rock can start wallpapering his house with these bumper stickers because he wins. He's a very dedicated viewer. He's one of the PromoHomo.TV superstars, and he watches all the time, and I love him for it. So what's next for you? Maybe in a month, we're going to hear this big news out of Hollywood.
I wish. I mean, we will. We will. Right now, we're just working with the producer, getting some artwork ready to finalize the presentation. We're working on more titles, more merchandise. We're gonna do a tour in Pride where we're gonna try to go to most of the Prides in the West Coast to bring the comic book. We're gonna have my macaroons with the colors of the company, and soon we hope this year we can bring back Kraven magazine, which was the magazine that gave birth to the heroes.
Okay. Well, I hope that you'll come on the show again because I've had such a good time speaking with you. And I find you to be incredibly inspiring. And I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much, and I look forward to be back.
Thank you. Stay put because I'll speak with you briefly after the show. Okay.
Okay.
Wow. I hope all of you enjoyed today's broadcast as much as I have. Just remember that going forward, my regular time slot is going to be 7 p.m. Pacific time, which means I need to adjust my body clock because I tend to go to bed sometimes about this hour. So I won't be able to do that if I need to have my energy up for you. But I'm telling you that my interview with Fernando has been incredibly energizing. Until next time, I'm Nicholas Snow.